Session number 3. Starting it off with biceps again. Yes, this is every session. I'm recording every gym session that I do. And so far, all 3 of them, we started with biceps. And we kind of went over that last time, but if you're wondering why, it's because from the amount of volume I do, I can recover my biceps. They're no longer sore in 24 hours. So I want to grow my biceps because my arms are small, more than I really need to grow anything else. So that is why we are prioritizing biceps. Basically, just started a bicep specialization program. I've kind of been doing this for a couple weeks now. At this point, though, the preacher curls, I think I'm going to pull them out for a day or two because my elbows feel kind of beat up today. But this is the 50-pound weight here. I started with a warm-up set. I only filmed one of the warm-up sets, but I did 3. So with the 50-pound weight, the first set I did like 16 reps or something. And that's, it's kind of a lot of reps. That's why I started fucking around with the 60-pound straight bar instead. And that one I could only do like 7 reps, and I barely got the 7th rep up. So it's almost like some of these exercises, especially with the lengthened emphasis, adding more weight, I think it kind of like exponentially increases the difficulty. Just adding a small amount of weight. Well, there's like a dose response curve that is kind of you gotta start smaller probably than you think you do and add less. I wish they had 5-pound increments for the straight bar. But, 16 reps with 50 pounds and 7 reps with 60 pounds. I just didn't expect it to be that much more difficult. I think it also, when you work with heavier weights, it also kind of changes the resistance profile a little bit. Like, it's going to make it harder at the bottom, I think. And you can kind of see my bicep working pretty good on this set. I was like, crazy. I didn't know my bicep looked like that. It's been pretty rewarding filming myself to kind of keep an eye on my technique. But I think next session I'm just going to do the lying dumbbell curls to just give my elbows a couple days to cool down. It's been, 3 days in a row doing the same thing. It's kind of new to me, so it's going to bang me up a little bit. Doing that 8 sets a day of biceps. So we're at, right now, I think it's, in 1 week, probably shooting for somewhere around 40 sets of biceps. But next session, what I'm going to do is, maybe I should just talk about that next session. Anyways, I'll just say I'm going to pre-exhaust my biceps with the lying dumbbell curls. I'm going to do 6 sets instead of 4 sets of those. Where this session I did 4 sets of preacher curls and 4 sets of lying dumbbell curls. I'm just going to do 6 sets of the lying dumbbell curls to pre-exhaust my biceps, and then I'm going to do my back. So the back pulling movements do work the bicep pretty good, especially if you pre-exhaust it. Moving on, these sets felt really good, especially the first one. These ones with my biceps already doing work. I'm kind of questioning look at my face. I'm not feeling it. I'm kind of questioning whether I should even be doing this right now because my biceps are already so fucking pumped. But, I don't think 8 sets of biceps per day is like totally ridiculous. It's a little bit higher than what most people would do, but you know, there's reasons for that, and I should probably touch base on this on like every video that I started at the beginning of the mesocycle with. Holy shit, my hair looks so bad. It doesn't always look like this. I'm not here to look pretty, alright? But anyways, I started with 1 set. After like, I got a little cold, I took a few days off, I did kind of a recovery week, a deload week, and then I came back, and I could only do 1 set of these. And then the next day, my biceps were sore, and I took a day off. And then I came back, I did another set, I didn't get sore. But the good thing about doing 1 set per muscle group, or at least 1 set per exercise, or even like starting with 2 or 3 sets, is that it doesn't take a lot of time, so you can do your full body in 1 session. So at the beginning of the mesocycle, I'm not really doing this prioritization, specialization thing that I'm doing right now, because I can do my entire body in like an hour and a half, and be sore the next day, and it feels really good. There's no systemic fatigue, so I'm getting a good amount of hypertrophy stimulus on every single muscle group every session, or at least, I don't really do a ton of legs, to be quite honest, but that's because my legs have always been okay. But anyways, it just gets to a point as you're adding sets where 1 session is not covering all your bases anymore. So you kind of got to do, you got to kind of pick what you want to spend most of your time on. And the exercises that you do first in the workout are going to be better stimulus than the ones that you do later in the workout. Especially if your movements that you're doing are like at all taxing on your nervous system, meaning they're like exhausting, like pushing, pressing, pulling. And that's basically it. Isolation movements just don't really hit your nervous system that hard, especially for me. So here we are. I'll talk more about that. Especially for chest, we need to talk about systemic fatigue and pressing and volume and exercise selection. But starting off the pressing here with a warm-up set with the seat way lower than I was previously doing it. And it feels so much better, and like kind of trying to keep my elbows stacked with the way that I am, like the exact direction that I'm pressing the weight up. Definitely making this exercise feel a lot better. And this set I started really light with 60 pounds, and I kind of went slow. Just wanted to make sure there's no grinding in my shoulders, and like you might be able to see that I am changing. I'm like kind of being finicky with my elbows. I'm like, I don't know where I want my elbows at. But this set we just kind of that was pretty close to failure. Like that was pretty much failure. So we bumped it up 5 pounds, 65 pounds here. Still going kind of slow. Just feeling it, not really being super athletic on the way up there. And that's okay for hypertrophy training. The rep speed doesn't really matter unless you care about the numbers and the reps that you're doing. If you want to set a PR, then a faster rep speed will literally make it easier to do that. But the rep speed doesn't matter for a hypertrophy stimulus. Like, you don't want to dive bomb it down, you want to control it, but like a 1 second eccentric is not a bad thing. But so now I believe this is 70 pounds here, so we're bumping it up 5 pounds every set just to see what the shoulders are feeling like, and kind of speeding up the range of motion here, being a little bit more athletic on the way up, going down a little bit faster. and it feels good. This is one of the best chest pumps I've had in a long time, and I'm so fucking sore today. It feels amazing. But normally I would do my heavy stuff first. I actually do typically one top set. Ooh, that was a good one. Top set where I'm doing, like, first I warm up, and then I do one heavy set, but one to three heavy sets for strength training. Not really going super close to failure, like maybe 7 out of 10 on the RPE scale. So this set I'm doing 75 pounds, and I get, I don't know, like 10 reps or something like that. But yeah, usually I kind of do heavy stuff first, and then I get into the working weight, where I'm working in like the 6 to 12 rep range, typically. Sometimes a little bit more, like right now. This session, I went higher than that. But yeah, with that seat height, I actually don't need to do this much chest volume anymore, because my chest is so sore the day after that. That just unlocked like some new stimulus for me, and I'm probably going to take the dips out for a minute here until I'm not feeling so sore. Again, we'll see what happens next chest session. But that was a warm-up set. Warm-up set for me with dips is typically you just do my body weight for 10 reps. I think I maybe did 9 on that one. But just going real slow, making sure I'm not going to tear my shit. And then we grab the 50-pound dumbbell for the working weight here. This exercise, I used to use a weight belt for this, and I'm going to use a weight belt next time, because as I'm adding more weight, I'm realizing that putting the weight in between my shins like this, my calves, it's making me go more vertical, and it's taking the tension off of my pecs and delts and putting it on my triceps. So with 50 pounds, I noticed I was going super vertical. You can kind of see it at the end of the set more when I'm like struggling. My body is not where I want it to be, to where I have like the tension on my chest. And the one thing about doing so much pressing, 8 sets of pressing, like I consider dips a set of pressing. See, that was all triceps at the top of the set, and that is adding so much systemic fatigue that it's just like you do 8 sets of pressing. I don't care whether it's shoulders or dips, like shoulder pressing, dips, or bench press. I mean, you're not going to want to get up in the morning because you're going to be tired. So just a lot of systemic fatigue. Typically I do like 4 sets of pressing and then 4 sets of cables, because those don't really add so much fatigue. But you can see I'm getting a good stretch on some of these reps here on the pecs. But overall, I am not going to do them like this anymore. I'm going to do the weight belt, and that allows your body to stay more horizontal, because this pulls it vertical, and like having the weight attached to your belt, it kind of like puts a different center of gravity on you to where your legs can go back behind you. You don't want to go super vertical on those, because it just takes the tension off of your pecs. I hate to sound like a broken record, but I'm not able to put every set of flies in this video, but I did 4 sets. So 4 sets incline press, 4 sets of dips, weighted, and 4 sets of cable flies, which is, I know, it's a lot of volume. Like I said, I'm not going to do that anymore, because my chest is getting plenty of work from these exercises, and I'll see where I'm at with just 4 sets of incline and 4 sets of cables next time. I have a feeling that that's not going to get me super sore. And then if it doesn't, then I'll add another couple sets of dips, but with a weight belt. Or just body weight. Body weight is fine. Nobody says that you have to, nobody who knows anything says that you have to stay under 12 reps to grow. It's not even optimal. Like, it's not even about like lower reps being more optimal. They're not. You should get a variety of reps between 6 and 30 reps. You will grow the same from that entire rep range as long as you stay close to failure. I mean, the degree of closeness to failure